What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Block Hash Podcast channel. Today, we're going to talk about Litecoin and the Litecoin halving today. Will that have an impact on Litecoin, the crypto market? What does it mean? Is it a nothing burger or is it significant? Make sure to check out our sponsor, BENFT, before we get started. They are revolutionizing education using DeFi methods and artificial intelligence. They are fantastic. Make sure to check them out in the description below. All links are included. Go to benft.solutions to check them out directly. All right. Also, check out our Patreon if you want to get access to these kinds of charts, like the Litecoin one we're about to cover today, ahead of it getting posted on YouTube. It goes on Patreon first. It's a couple cups of coffee a month, and you get first rights and access. Yeah, and it's good coffee. We drink coffee there too. All right, so let's look at Litecoin. This is a brand new chart. I'm going to go ahead and draw these trend lines for you to give you an idea. So we're going to look at the 30. I don't know, this is the daily. Look at the daily. So way back into 2021, Litecoin had some massive moves as high as $400, as high as almost $300. Again, you know, it sailed very, very high. And right now it's lower than even it was in June of 2019. Right? And it's at its lowest point. Some have even questioned, thinking that Litecoin might be dying. All right? Fair sentiment. But let's take a look for real. Let's see where the future is for Litecoin. Where do we have our lower highs and our higher lows at this point? Because we got some trend lines that we can draw that are taking us higher. At least three that stand out to me, where you get June 12th. I guess we could argue this too. 14th of October, 11th of November, really supporting trends there that we haven't retested. A steeper one at the 9th of November to the 16th of June, showing a trend. And this one for recent spikes down, the 18th of December-ish, 12th of March, 14th of June. Okay, so we have multiple different versions of higher highs. The good news is all of these, higher lows. All these lows seem to be getting higher. Okay, with the exception of maybe this one, but you know, I don't think that one's as valid. When we look at higher highs, we do have that. Okay, we actually have a funnel. I like funnels. Funnels are good. They give us something very predictable to look at. On the flip side, we also have downtrends that we have clearly broken out of, but have we completely cleared the danger? The answer to that is definitely no. It's going to take us time to figure that out. We're going to look at that. We have some resistance areas. Those are key. We're going to go all the way back here to draw these in. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is because we do have former floors around this level, and at least ranges as a former floor, and some former highs right on the dot that are supporting this being an area of resistance. So we need to bust out of that if we're Litecoin. So since the very beginning of the year, we've looked pretty good. Litecoin has gone from $66 as high as $100. It has made its way up to now an average of $93, maybe $92. Its highest point being $114. Those are some strong rebounds. Nowhere near where it's been, but those are strong. Notably, we are above our 2020 peak of February 16th at 83, so that's a good sign. We're not as high as our June 19th peak or anything back in early 2017 prior, or even in 2021. We have a long way to go. This is not even a bullish move for Litecoin, in my opinion. This is a move in the right direction, But until we clear this level and we show signs of getting up above these resistance marks, can't say that we're bullish yet. Let's draw in some fibs, why don't we? Wherever those might be present. I think they're here, yep. Fib retracement. Okay, from our recent high to our, let's say, recent low. Let's use this as a metric to see how in the short term here, on the daily, we get Litecoin over the top. So the last spike we had for Litecoin was in early July, around Independence Day. Since then, it has trickled back down, okay, facing some former floors here, trying not to go lower. It's kind of stabilizing. But again, we have that support at smack on the 0.382. Woohoo! All right, if we break through the 0.382, we're likely coming down to 81 at 0.236, which would not be good. We don't want to see that retracement. We want to see this bounce here and form another floor and move higher. All right, so we break through that, we're likely to come all the way down to these levels and test these trend lines that I don't think we want to hit. We want to keep going, okay? We want maybe this one to be the trend line that we stick with. We want these lows to continue marching higher at this point, especially if the Litecoin halving is today. We want to see that break out to the upside. Obviously, we'll have resistance around the 0.786. But if we can get through our high, which is around 114, 115, we should be able to make a run to 140. Where does 140 take us? At the 1.618. $140 takes us into what I'd consider bull market territory. Why do I keep grabbing that? Bull market territory will clear some of these gaps that we had back in early 2022 where we dropped after Voyager, Celsius, Terra Luna, especially Terra Luna. We have to clear all of this. We have not done that with Litecoin. Getting to 140 would help us clear that for the first time. We're seeing that in Ripple and XLM and a few other projects, but not in Litecoin. So again, we got to clear this 140 area. We can clear the 140 area, now we're talking. We're at a good, healthy spot where Litecoin can begin considering moves higher. Now, everyone used to consider Litecoin the silver to Bitcoin's gold. You know, it was the next alternative, the next thing you could invest in, but it's shown no historical significance in terms of being tied to Bitcoin in any sort of ratio. In fact, you could argue that Litecoin has lost more value over the long term than it has gained because it is very, very down. But there's tremendous opportunity down here. So I will be watching this very carefully. I don't really have a time frame for when this could happen. But like most altcoins, and if Litecoin were to follow suit, we will find out by November. I'm telling you, every 3 years, we get real movement in the altcoin market, sometimes preceding the Bitcoin halving, sometimes post-Bitcoin halving. It all kind of depends. So yes, watch this 0.382 level very carefully. We're going to watch the 0.786, but more importantly, getting up to our 14-cent resistance, which we will need to retest at least once to know if we're going to stay down and consolidate or even crash, or if we're going to go higher. My guess is we test this soon, sometime in September. Like either the Litecoin halving sends us rocketing up, or we make our way up to retest it in a couple big candles sometime in mid-September. That is my guess. It's not financial advice. Just keep it in mind. This is all educational. We could look at a few other things here. I'm going to clear this up to make it a little bit more easy to read and understand. We're going to zoom back in. If we go to our EMA, okay, everything's very tight, very flat. We are barely above the 100 and 200 EMA. That is technically bullish, but we don't look strong. It's very weak. On the 200, it has been very weak. You know, Litecoin has stayed above it a majority of the time, which is why we've seen this trend up, but it is harshly came back down against it. And while it hasn't stayed below the 200, this is not good to see. That means that Litecoin doesn't have any strength, especially long term. No one is betting on Litecoin to be the next big thing. No one's hopeful and optimistic. Bollinger Band is really tight. There's no indication that it wants to break out of the Bollinger Band. The closest we got, again, was here end of June, early July. It did break out, but not for very long. Again, hit a resistance here and came back down. That corner of that resistance seemed pretty strong, so it hit it, made an impact, retraced back down. So not seeing a whole lot in Litecoin yet. Maybe we'll check out one more thing on the weekly. RSI is very calm and boring. But on the weekly, again, we're trending sideways. We're up this year more than we were compared to in 2022, obviously. This was a nasty fall. 2022 hurt a lot. The end of 2021 also drove this, but the volume isn't there. So the slow movement upwards and consolidation on the weekly could be something to be optimistic about. But again, we have to wait. So those are my thoughts on Litecoin. Let me know what you guys think, if you've seen anything different, if you think that, Litecoin's about to explode, if you think that it's dead in the water and Litecoin is going to fizzle and out and die and be a relic of history in the cryptocurrency industry. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Comment down below, like the video, share it with someone, and subscribe if you have not already. If you have, you guys are the best. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.